So today I'm joined by Nadia from Zebedees. They provide hot meals to nurseries in the South East, and we're going to be thinking all about food. So Nadia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Zebedees?
Yes, yeah. So I work on the client services team. I'm the client services manager. So we liaise directly with nurseries every day. I also help develop the menus with our chef and a nutritionist. So they obviously work on putting our menus together, and then I assist by looking at the allergens and getting that into a format that works for nurseries. So we have been established for more than 20 years now, and as you say, we deliver all over the southeast. All of our meals all our lunches are cooked freshly in the morning, and then they're delivered to our nurseries hot. So it all goes out in insulated containers, and we have a fleet of vehicles delivering all over the southeast. And the idea is that the nursery receives their boxes, and when they're ready to serve their lunch, you open the box, you probe the food to check the temperature, and it's ready to serve. So our menus are all nutritionally analysed to make sure that they meet the guidelines for obviously the special age group that we're catering for, and we follow the Eat Better, Start Better guidelines.
Okay, thank you. And obviously this is really important, isn't it? Because good food habits can never start too early. We have lots of problems with children with oral health and obesity and malnourishment. So it's never too early to start thinking about what's going inside them. Our child health is a big problem for us, and we're kind of worried about cases of obesity and malnourishment also. What sorts of things should we be feeding our children?
Well, I think obviously there's lots of concerns over meals that have high sugar, fat or salt content. One of the good things about our meals are that because they're homemade, we're limiting the amount of ready-made, highly processed products. So that's a good way of keeping the levels down and keeping a tab on what you're actually producing. Within the home, obviously parents have their own favourite recipes and favourite foods that they like, and I think the message is always everything in moderation. It's not good to deny treats, but it's not good to have too many either.
Yeah, we all like the treats, and they taste so good, don't they? It's a bit of a problem. So in that vein, then things like oral health is obviously very important, and I think the statistics are something like 14% of a child's sugar intake comes from juice alone. What can you say to us about what we should be giving our children to drink, or just tips for oral health in general?
Yeah, well, I'm not a nutritionist, but I've worked closely with the nutritionists that help with our menus. And one of the tips is that if you're giving a child fruit juice or squash, that's taken with a meal, with food. I think that's to do with the fact that when you're eating, your mouth is producing saliva, which then helps to break down all the sugary matter on the teeth. So also, that's with drinks. I mean, other times of day, I guess water would be the best option. And children are creatures of habit, so if that's what they're used to, then great. Yeah, I think that's the best advice: sugary drink or sweet drinks with food.
Okay, yeah, just like we were saying, really, just get all those good habits like drinking water and things off to an early start. And with things also, I guess, like dried fruits or the fruit snacks, is that a similar thing where you'd recommend that how children take those?
Yeah, and again, I think dried fruits as part of a larger meal, not so bad. As a snack on their own, there are concerns because they are sticky. They do have more concentrated sugars in them. So, and a good alternative would be something like crudité, so carrot batons, cucumber batons, pepper batons. So you're still getting something colourful and easy to eat, but doesn't contain the sugars.
And it's all natural, isn't it? So that's
Yeah.
stuff. cost is a factor, because eating all that good stuff, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, can be quite costly. What kind of low cost alternatives are there for us to for families to be using to feed their children?
That's a tricky one. I'm not sure I have the right answer. Certainly when it comes to fresh fruit, nutritionally, frozen fruits and tinned fruits, as long as they're in natural juice, they have the same nutritional benefits. They don't contain any higher levels of the natural sugars that are already in fruits, but they can be more cost effective. And certainly if it's tinned fruit in natural juice, obviously you've got a longer life as well, so you don't have the wastage perhaps that you might with fresh fruit. But other than that, yeah, it's a tricky one, and depends on where you shop, and I suppose you've got to be clever with where you shop and what you choose, but I'm not sure I have all the answers for that, unfortunately.
No, but it's certainly something for us to bear in mind.
Yeah.
And you said that all your meals are home prepared, so we love cooking with children. It's really good for them. I think it's good for them to help see a meal be made and eat it. So is there something that you could share with us, for the people at home, that they could maybe make with their kids?
Yes, yeah. So one of the meals I know is popular at your nursery is the meatballs, which comes in a homemade tomato and lentil sauce. So I'm going to put together the recipe for that. What's nice about it is that the sauce is naturally sweet. It's got texture with the lentils, and I mean, I think it's a delicious lunch as well. We sample the food every day, and we enjoy our Zebedees lunches. But the sauce can be adapted to suit other. So if you're a vegetarian family, you could put it with something other than the meatballs, or it could be served with chicken, anything really. So yeah, and you could serve the sauce just with pasta as well. So yeah, I'll put the recipe for the sauce together for you. Now, obviously, we cook everything in volume, so I'll send you the ingredients, and then whilst I can't give you a family-sized recipe, hopefully people can scale the ingredients down to the right levels.
Lovely. We'll look forward to that, because that is, as you said, that's one of our favourite meals here. And you're quite good, aren't you, at getting things that children might not usually have, lentils, those sorts of things, into the dishes, aren't you?
Yeah. And what we try and do is adapt the textures and colours of our dishes. Now, because we're transporting everything to you hot, the main part of the dish has to come in a sauce, because that helps for it to hold the temperature. We don't want everything to be in the same coloured or texture sauce. So, for example, with our meatball sauce, it's got lentils in there, that gives it a really nice texture. We do other sauces that are smooth. We might have sauces with chunkier vegetables in. Some of our curries, when you wouldn't imagine that a vegetable curry would be a popular dish for children, but our vegetable curry that we have on our menu at the moment, which is made with coconut milk, so it's naturally dairy free, and we all think it's absolutely delicious. So again, that's maybe another recipe I could share with you as well.
That's good. It's good and I think it as you say, it's ideal, isn't it, for introducing children to different tastes and experiences, which sets up good habits later on in life, would you say?
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so you provide our hot meals. Our families have enjoyed them. We do offer a hot meal to some of our children who are on pupil premium, so it's good for them to have a hot meal. Is there anything you could tell us just about portion sizes, maybe? How do you work out what's the right amount of food for that age group? That's the thing.
Well, there are guidelines. The Eat Better Start Better campaign, which used to be the Children's Food Trust, I believe, that sets out some rough portioning guidelines, which we follow. But obviously, we're catering for children from babies up to preschool age. So we're relying on nurseries to adapt the portions to suit the child, and not just the age of the child, but also individual children. Obviously, some have larger appetites than others. So there's some information I can send, which parents might like to see, which gives the rough outline, but really it's about adapting it to the individual child. No two children. I've got two teenage boys, so mine always ain't messes, but I know that's not the same for everybody. But yeah, you need to adapt to suit the child and their appetite and their how active they are, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll look forward to having all those bits. We'll share those with our parents, and that's great. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today, all about Zebedees and your lovely meals. And we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.